there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking Big Brother. We are talking Big Brother, see what's going on live feeds, you guys. So the episode came on late tonight, and it's going to come on late again Wednesday because Survivor's back, you guys. And nonetheless, there are some things we need to talk about this twist that is DYRE Fest 2.0 that I am not happy about, you guys. So it kind of, it sets up basically that the house guests, the final 8, they are not going to be inside the Big Brother house this week. They are all going to be outside. Now, this is a little bit of a twist from a couple of years ago where we had a split house of Brochella and DYRE Fest where some of the house was still able to be inside the house and then the other had to stay outside all week, right? So this time around, they said, screw it, all of you are going to be outside, and we're going to call this Jankie Fest, because all of the conditions are absolutely janky, right? Everything, the HOH competition that should have been on feeds, because it lasted, I believe, 10 hours or so, would have been a perfect comp for everybody to watch. Instead, the feeds were down for, 12 or 16 hours or something crazy. We didn't know what was going on. All we know is when the feeds came back on, it was everybody in the backyard laying on cots, and we were like, what the heck is happening? So nonetheless, they set this up. They let the house guests know it's going to be a big party in the backyard. It's going to be, Jankie's World. It's going to be ice cream, pizza, prizes. And then they close the doors, and they're like, yeah, you're going to be here all week. And they're like, no. So you have to take cold showers. You have to use the bathroom in rinky-dink, porta potties. I think they could only pack like a small bag of their belongings, of a few outfits and things. But it sounds like Big Brother is providing them with like Jankie World merch or attire, if you will, of different hoodies and sweatpants and things, and whatever else they're going to wear for these competitions. But it's a lot of tomfoolery, right? The conditions are not good at all. It's hot. It's still hot in Cali, you guys. You've got to think about bugs. You've got to think about fatigue. And then nutrition, you guys. And energy, right? Because they are reduced to a diet, you guys, of pizza, ice cream with fun toppings such as gummy worms and sprinkles, and water. And I believe tonight on the feeds, they're able to get soda, you guys. Make it make sense. Listen, I love me some pizza and I love me some ice cream, and maybe once a day, if I really, really craved it, I could get away with maybe a slice of pizza and maybe a bite or two of some ice cream. But all day, for every single meal for the next week, no. And you have to be out in the outhouses using the bathroom and taking cold showers on top of that? No. And then your energy is shot for these competitions, which I'm surprised they even lasted 10 hours for the HOH. And so we get to see in the episode that, inadvertently, Tikor's trio did not, do well. Angela and Cam made deals with Leah not to be put on the block and all of the things. And so nonetheless, as we saw through the episode, they ended up not making the block, at least for initial noms. But we know deep down that Leah and Angela have some sort of a pact of sorts. So they'll at least protect each other for as long as they feel that they need each other in the game, you guys. However, Chelsea was not having any of this because she just sent home Leah's number one ally in Quinn. And Leah, of course, felt blindsided by the vote and was not happy. So I thought this was going to be her big one. She was going to get revenge. And so we see the one-on-one with Chelsea. And Chelsea's like, listen, I'm going to promise you safety for a week. I won't put you up, this and that. And it kind of just seemed like Chelsea she just came in, dropped the mic, and then dipped out, you guys, and let the chips fall where they may. And I can't even be mad. Listen, I love me some Chelsea. I know there's a lot of Chelsea haters out there. I am not one of them. I try to protect her. I try to defend her as much as I can out in these streets because it is brutal for her out here. But I watch the feeds. I watch the live feeds, you guys, as much as I can to try to get some context, even though they're not fair either.
doing Niecy Nash's niece, the way that they do, how they block out some of the feeds on her so we don't have proper context regarding certain conversations and certain relationships. But the moral of the story is, after everyone dragged her last week for not targeting the trio, it may have turned out to be a blessing in disguise, even though I still was thinking that she was going to potentially be a target of Leah's, even though the week is not over and final noms are not locked, which will be tomorrow, and we're going to react to that, right? And so essentially everybody that was doing one-on-ones with Leah after she won the HOH was like, listen, you got to target the trio. You got to split them up. That is a power structure. That is a vote of 3, no matter who is the HOH, no matter who wins power of veto. And I'm glad somebody sunk that in. It doesn't matter how terrible the trio is at comps. They're still a voting block of 3. So nonetheless, if you have a specific target, if you have somebody specific that you want out and people flop at the veto, you can risk, the trio going in the opposite direction and wanting to keep whoever they prefer to keep in the house. No. You've got to break that trio up, even though there technically is another trio. But, it's been bad gameplay, though. Right? It's been bad gameplay because I want to give you some behind the scenes on what's going on in the feeds for those of you who don't watch the feeds, right? So basically, T-Core has been pulling all-nighters all week, you guys. Ever out in this janky fest where they have to sleep on these cots and be woken up in the middle of the night for these stupid dance parties and singing the janky song that sounds like Barney, I love you, you love me, and all the things, right? She is holding one-on-one sessions herself with Chemo and Rubina to let them know, hey, you guys got to fight to stay this week. I need my trio. And it's sus. And Angela sought it out today, and she let Leah know, listen, I know that there's another thread out there in Chelsea. She's got a good social game. She's got, several close relationships in the house. She's good at playing both sides, this and that. But listen, we've got to get rid of T-Core's crew. We've got to get somebody out of that trio this week because they are dangerous. T-Core is going to have her soldiers in line. She is pulling all-nighters and coaching them on what to say to Angela and Leah on their one-on-one conversations to prevent themselves, from being evicted this week. And that is too much power. That is too much influence if the trio stays this next week and you, Leah, can't even play in HOH. That's 3 people coming after you versus if you keep the other trio safe plus me, I can play in the HOH and, the 4 of us can, protect you against whoever is left from that trio, which would make the most logical sense. Why piss off both trios? I see a lot of you on social media that's like, Leah should do Chelsea and T-Core nominations, and I'm like, for what? Then everybody's going to be after Leah, even though I still think they're after her anyways. But why piss everyone off when you don't need to? You still need to have relationships in this house, especially when you're not going to be HOH in a few days. Well, technically, Leah's HOH reign will be over tomorrow once the veto's done. But nonetheless, why set yourself up for failure? That's why, Chelsea, it was so critical of her to have that marathon-long conversation with Leah in the HOH room at the end of her reign last week to smooth things over, to explain her moves, to explain her decisions, and da-da-da-da-da. And even if they were lying to each other or whatever, she gave Leah just enough to say, listen, I didn't target you this week. You were not an initial nom. You were not a backdoor option and X, Y, and Z, right? But nonetheless, we are less than 24 hours away from this veto meeting, and there is going to be a twist that they talked about in the episode tonight at the end. There is 2 vetoes, which I also think is very dumb at Final 8, because it's extra blood that's unnecessary. I think a double veto would have been great during the AI arena period where you had 3 nominees, but I feel like now it just makes 0 sense other than to piss more people off and have more targets after you when you're trying to already integrate yourself into something because you don't have many people. You lost all your allies, right? And so nonetheless, the veto that actually was won by Angela. Angela won the official Golden Power of Veto. Spoiler alert. Sorry, you guys. So she won the official Golden Power of Veto. However, Leah has won, I think she believes she came in 2nd place. She won what is called a Jankie veto. Now, my thing is this. It is clear production wants to keep this trio together, right? For whatever reasons, right? And it seems that there had been multiple opportunities in multiple games for this trio to win. And they even had a favorable veto draw, which I believe it was Chemo, it was T-Core, it was Rubina, it was Angela, it was Leah, and it was Chelsea, you guys, that were the veto picks. And not anybody from the trio could get a win. Couldn't even win the second veto, you guys. But, not even the first veto, right? Not even bothering to win the HOH, right? Not even to win anything, right? So all they're relying on is their social game and promising all of these things when they have no power outside of the voting power and the jury power, right? So nonetheless, here we are. We're fast forwarding to Sunday night. We're heading into where people are doing one-on-ones and people are trying to plead their case. Angela, she's all about the camera time and having the TV moment, so she's ecstatic that this is the first week that she's not on the block outside of her 2 HOHs and wants to have a big camera time move and all this and wants to give a big speech and get her some camera time, right? Because that's her moment, right? That's all she cares about. And she basically said on feeds that she wants to keep Chelsea for herself and wants to target Chelsea for herself and wants to make a big move for Chelsea for herself, even though if Chelsea stays this week, I don't think Angela has the votes to get her out because you would only need 3 votes. And I'm not seeing the vision. But nonetheless, because she's cool with both sides of the house. So nonetheless, we'll see what happens. But from what the conversations sound like, Angela, of course, has the decision on whether or not she wants to use the power of veto. It sounds like she's going to be using the power of veto. Rumor has it probably is going to be utilized on Chemo. However, this janky veto, it sounds like Leah has to participate in another competition. She has to participate in another competition in which either she loses the game and can't use the veto at all, or she can win that game as well and then make the decision then on whether or not she wants to use the second power of veto. I think she should throw the game all together so that way there's not any blood on her hands, because I was listening to her just make these noms just a little bit ago that was a little bit rinky-dink in itself, and she could barely mutter Rubina and Chemo's names, you guys. It was like, Rubina, Chemo? Oh, no. You're not built for this, Leah. Oh, no. You're not built for this life. Yes, you can be messy on these feeds and talk crap about these people behind their back, but when it's time to be face-to-face with them, you do not have this energy. You're telling everyone but Chelsea that you're afraid of her. No, wrong answer. You're bashing Rubina behind her back hardcore, but you do not have the energy in front of her face. You are not about this life, Leah. And I just find it funny, the hypocrisy, you guys, because the hypocrisy is so many of you were dragging Chelsea last week, saying she needed to target the trio. She was wasting her HOH. But for me, there was no need for Chelsea to target the trio because the trio's not after her. The trio is good with Chelsea, with the exception maybe Chemo. I think Chemo's probably the least good with Chelsea, but pretty much Rubina and T-Core love Chelsea and want to prioritize her over anything. Perhaps even their own trio, it sounds like at times. So it made 0 sense for Chemo in any capacity or anyone else in the trio to ever be her target when she knew Quinn threw her alliances with Cam under the bus and was responsible for all of them going, whether he was HOH or not. Why are you ratting out your other alliances to people and thought that you were going to get further in the game because of it? But you chose to align with people who don't win competitions. Make it make sense. So nonetheless, Chelsea's like, bet I'm getting revenge for Cedric's eviction. I'm getting revenge on, what happened to Brooklyn and all of these things. So she's like, pop. and she got her target out. And somehow, I don't know if it's her social game or Cam's social game or what, but somehow, at least for now, knock on wood, she's not on the block, and hopefully she stays off the block this week and can compete and fight for this HOH, because she needs to get this HOH badly. Her or MJ really need to win this next HOH. I would say Cam, but Cam is disappointing me right now, because why are we doing a one-leg lift-up contest after 9 hours of an HOH comp and you guys are already tired, you have aches and pains, and you are feeling a certain type of way, you can fall out of this competition at any moment, and you do some tomfoolery. No. No. So nonetheless, we will see what happens with this veto. So the big thing now, Angela basically said without saying to Chemo that she was going to use the veto. She told him not to tell anybody. He obviously told T-Core because he can't. The same thing last week. Chelsea told him, don't say anything, and he runs right to T-Core. And it's like, this is, I mean, if T-Core can convince Leah not to use the veto, that will be something. That will be something. Or convince Angela not to use the veto. That would be incredible, you guys. But I think T-Core realizes that she might be the renom option. And it's going to be interesting because it's actually 50-50 on whether T-Core can go, because if she ends up being the renom, because it's 3 votes to get out of there this week. So nonetheless, I think Angela and for sure will vote out T-Core. And I think even now, Cam and Chelsea is where I'm back and forth on. I know MJ would, right? But I don't know if she would follow what Chelsea's done. But it's not like this trio hasn't been on the wrong side of the vote either. They've split votes before as well. So this could be a very interesting situation. But I'm glad that Cam brought up a good point, that Chemo is very dangerous in that, he was able to talk himself out of eviction from 2 votes the other week, right? So nonetheless, this could get just as interesting. But the Quinn move was definitely good for Chelsea's game. Some people said it was bad for Cam and Chelsea and Mackenzie's game, but actually it's fine because she doesn't seem to be mad at them about Quinn. like it's so weird. But that's part of Cam's social game and his charm. And I think just Mackenzie, I think just Leah always wants to work with her. So nonetheless, this didn't have the blowback that people were expecting it to have. And Chelsea for now has like 9 lives, but she's like literally narrating the season, you guys. So, it would be a loss not to have her. So I think Angela, from a game perspective, recognizes continuing to have Chelsea in this house. And I think even Leah's starting to realize it. That's still a shield that's in front of them. That's still a bigger target than them. So I think their rationale of keeping her is more so it still decreases their threat level, except for you're still leaving a trio in the house that is eligible to compete for HOH this upcoming week. So nonetheless, there is that. So we'll see what happens. I'm, of course, rooting for Chelsea. I would love, my dream would be a Chelsea and Cam final 2 or a Chelsea and T-Core final 2. I have to see what shakes out of this veto ceremony tomorrow, though, because I'm very nervous. Because I don't know. Because I feel like Leah, for whatever reason, even though she keeps talking about how big of a threat T-Core and Chelsea are, I feel like she really wants Rubina out. like of all the people. Because she holds on to these grudges, and she's still holding on to a grudge from yesteryear with Rubina involving Tucker and some other stuff. So it's like, girl... What does this have to do with anything? She's not even a threat to your game. Make it make sense. So nonetheless, we'll see whether or not if Rubina is the second juror or not. For some reason, the cast is speculating this week is going to be a double eviction. I'm not getting that vibe. I think we might get it in another week or 2 or so, but I don't think it'll be this week. But nonetheless, we will see. I'm actually, this cast doesn't bother me too much. I just hate sometimes the references when they talk about old school Big Brother and they get the information incorrect, or they keep referencing the cookout, but like trying to match the cookout's purpose versus their purpose, and the purposes aren't matching. So it's very aggravating, because I'm like, no. I'm like, this is not why the cookout happened, and this is not why you're trying to make this all-girls alliance happen. And then there have been multiple seasons where there have been females in the final 2, where it has been an all-girl finals. Now, what you can say is you want to make a history of a final 6 of all women. Now, that is a factual statement, but the statement of there's never been final women at the end, and you guys are only watching Big Brother 23 as your reference point. No. Y'all, I don't understand why Big Brother, if you get casted for this show, it should be required and mandatory that you watch all 26 seasons. or 25 seasons for this current cast. You watch every single season in under sequester. Because, or at least watch, or have a requirement, right? That you have to watch at least half. You have to watch at least 13 seasons, right? Doesn't matter which ones, but at least 13. So you can still, you're guaranteed to at least get some of the old school Big Brother and some of the newer school Big Brother. So you could kind of see, you know, some things. But this nonsense where we're just going to watch one season, and I believe T-Core, somebody said that they didn't even finish after the cookout made it to Final 6. No. No, that is the wrong answer. And then people were getting Dire Fest wrong and getting all of these things wrong, you guys, and saying Taylor wanted to be with Monty and wanted a romantic relationship with Monty. Like, there was just a lot going on, and I was like, no, stop it. And then the feeds cut, you guys, on the live feeds, because that's how messy these live feeds are, because they're still outside in these horrid conditions, you guys, with the random dance parties, and like I said, they're reduced to just the pizza and the ice cream. Now they've got soda and water, and it's just a hot mess. Thank goodness there's only a few more days of this, but it feels like torture, you guys. It's torture to watch this on the feeds. I literally now have to have it as like in the background while I watch something else or while I do something else, because it is so exhausting, you guys. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.